So here we are. Welcome to the final video of this introductory series for the Creative Ignition program. And you know, what a journey it's been so far. I mentioned in the group that I'm so honoured, so wowed by what's been coming up for people, the honesty, the openness, the vulnerability. And it really gives me a sense of, you know, just how powerful what we're going to create together is going to be. So in this video, I'm going to let you know how you can get on board the Creative Ignition program. And rather than be all kind of, you know, salesy or anything like that, which, you know, doesn't work for me, it doesn't work for you, I'm just going to tell you, you know, what the program's going to be. I've mentioned a bit of it before, but I'll give you the kind of, you know, details, how it's going to work, give you a look at some of the things we're going to be doing, and then let you know how you can get on board. Does that sound fair enough? Cool. So this, of course, is all about helping you guys go from being, you know, a half-open flower to living the fullness of your garden. And I appreciate we all you know, work with life in different ways. So for some people that language will work, but for others, you know, maybe you need to hear it in a different way. And that was what, you know, the last video was about, looking at assets. Remember, income follows assets. So what Creative Ignition is really about is helping you to build the existing assets you have into really valuable offerings, and also to create new ones as well. You know, I believe that every single one of us is literally sitting upon a gold mine. And sometimes it just takes, you know, the right question or the right person to come into our lives to help us go, oh, hang on, there's the gold, it's right there. And what we're really going to be doing is helping you to engender the ecosystem. What do I mean by that? Well, in a garden, of course, you have, you know, you'll have some trees, you'll have some flowers, you'll have some shrubs, you'll have some, maybe some beds of vegetables. And all of these plants work together in a kind of harmonious synergy, in an ecosystem. And so what I really love supporting people to do, and that's what we're going to be doing on the Creative Ignition program, is creating an ecosystem where, you know, this product or service is similar and connected to this product or service, but they are very much standalone, but they can cross-fertilize each other. Okay, does that make sense? And it really is the way that business is going now. It's not just you have this one thing, but actually it's about building an ecosystem around your gifts and talents. And how are we going to do that? Three things, and we've covered them. You'll be familiar with them by now, unless of course this is the first time you're checking in with one of these videos. So we're going to help you to connect, to help you get that real connection with what your true value is, with the full scope of what your gifts might be. We're then going to support you to develop clarity on how you can actually start sharing those gifts with the world. And finally, we're going to give you the confidence so that you actually share them, right? A gift is only a gift when it is given. So we're going to help you connect with your gifts, develop the clarity so you can share them, and then the confidence so you can actually go out there and share them. Fantastic. So I just want to make sure we recap the, you know, what's going on here, what's at stake, because I appreciate we have busy lives, so maybe you haven't had a chance to check out any of the videos. And I really want to take a moment to speak about why this is so important, why what we are embarking on, why what we are pioneering is so important. So why is this so important? Why, you know, why am I so passionate? Why do you hear it in my voice? Why can you tell my heart is in this? Because you deserve joy. Let's state that from the start. You deserve joy. And more than just the fact that you deserve joy, joy is absolutely vital to you realizing the full value of your gifts, of your assets. Because joy is fuel for flow, which is this kind of quasi-mystical state that more and more research is being done into. I've made a bit of a mission of mine to understand what's going on with it. And they've worked out that the average person, whatever task they're attempting, if they can be in flow with that task, they are up to 5 times more effective. Now, do you think your income, your impact, your overall contentment and joy would be massively heightened if you were 5 times more effective at giving your gift? Absolutely. So that is why joy is so fundamentally important. Not only do you deserve it, it is your absolute human right, but also it is the very thing that will take your levels of service and of being rewarded to new levels. So that's why this is so important, as a first thing. Another thing is that I believe that we are becoming storytellers. Whether you are an entrepreneur or an entrepreneur in training, or you're an intrapreneur, which means you're working, for a company or in a job that you actually really enjoy doing, I believe that we are all being called to be storytellers, to stand up and live the values that we feel are important in the world. Now, back in the day when we had, it was villages and there was horses and carts and things, storytellers played a vital role. Storytellers were the Facebook of back in the day. They would go from village to village. They would hold leaders to account. They would tell people what was happening. They would educate. They would entertain. And they would serve. They would bring people together. They would help people experience joy. And they would leave people feeling enriched. And fundamentally, I believe that that is what we as entrepreneurs or intrapreneurs are being called to do, is to actually tell new stories and help people tell new stories by being models for others to follow. So that is why I believe it's so important for you that you come on board with this Creative Ignition journey. And even if it's not for you, that you continue to be an active part of the Creative Uprising movement. And the reason why this is so important, this Creative Ignition journey is so important as a first step for the movement, is because ultimately, where do we want to go? Well, we want 200,000 circles of people like us meeting in the real world, supporting each other to share their gifts more powerfully and to make more of an impact in the world, and therefore to experience profound levels of joy. Because if we can do that, and there's no accident that I chose the number 200,000, I worked out that in a population area of about 30,000 people, a small group of people doing an amazing thing can have a profound impact. And if you multiply 30,000 people by 200,000, that gives you 7 billion people. So that 200,000 number, the number of circles that we can create as part of this movement, allows us to impact everyone on this planet, and therefore the story of the human species. And that may sound massive, but all it is you being a part of a group in a way that works for you, sharing your gifts, giving your gifts, and living your joy. And the groups, the circles, 200,000 will feed into an international play day. Because I believe that if we can enshrine play as a fundamental part, a vital part of the new story of where the human species is headed, then we give ourselves the greatest possible chance to solve the challenges we need to solve and to live the joy that is our birthright. And I want you to be really clear about this. By embarking on the Creative Ignition journey, you're helping to write a new story. I don't believe there is a course like this out there. And, I'm even hesitant to use the word course. It's why I've used the word journey. Because we're going on a journey, and I've got a sense of where the destination will be, because, I'm going to be sharing with you the sessions, and, I know some of the folks who are going to be attending. But truly, we are going to be co-creating. Therefore, this is a story we are telling together. And perhaps the most important part of all of this is that we are going on this journey so that we can discover how effective the things I'm going to be sharing with you are. And from this journey, we will be harvesting the best bits to turn it into a course that can be shared with the world. And therefore, our transformations together on this journey will sow the seeds for thousands more transformations, for thousands more people to live their gift, to live their joy, and to make a profound impact in the world. So that's why, I'm so passionate about this, and why I feel it's so important that if you feel you're able, you come on board with the Creative Ignition journey. And like I said, I guarantee you're going to be able to afford it. Money, price is not going to be an issue. And before I get into that, you perhaps are wondering, well, what's it actually going to entail? So let's get into that. So what are you going to get? Well, you can see I've gone through to a slide now, because I want to make sure I break it down for you and you've got everything you need, and you can kind of see it visually. I know that works better for some people than me just telling you. So here's what you're going to get on the Creative Ignition journey. 30 sessions of around 30 minutes spread over 30 days. And sometimes that'll be quicker. It'll be like, hey, here's your thing, crack on, do it. and sometimes it'll take a bit longer. We'll go into depth in some things. And I've added something in here which is brand new. As I was putting together this video, I was like, that's brilliant. So you're also going to get what's called lock-in time as well. And what that is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the concept of a lock-in, for those of us who've been down the pub. For my friends in America or my friends in Australia who are watching this, that's where once the pubs are meant to have closed, they lock in everyone who's still there and everyone carries on drinking. So we're going to carry on drinking from the fount of knowledge and of our joy and our gifts. And so once the 30 minutes is finished, if there's more things to kind of be covered, or I might do a guided visualization, or maybe there's more questions and answers that need answering, that's great. Those who still want to stay on can stay on, and for as long as I can be there with you, I will be. So that's what a lock-in will look like. And it's all going to be delivered through the Creative Uprising members area. You can see that on your screen now. And very simple, you'll get your own username and password, all very professional. You will get 24-hour email and WhatsApp support if you want it. Now, what does that mean? It doesn't mean 24 hours. It doesn't mean if you call me at 5 in the morning, I'm going to answer. Well, actually, I probably will, because I tend to get up at around 5 a.m. these days. But if you call me maybe at 3 a.m., it doesn't mean that. What it means is any email or WhatsApp questions, concerns, clarifications you want, I commit to answering those within 24 hours. All the sessions will be recorded. And you will get a summary of each session before the session starts. What that means is, if you can't make the session, you've got the summary of what we're going to be covering, and therefore you can flag up any questions you have about that session, and I will answer it live on the session. So when you get to the recording in your own time, you get your questions answered live. Okay. You will get an interactive 40+ page playbook, which will have all the exercises, all the things we're going to be exploring, broken down, so that you've got this as a kind of living document that can serve you going forward. And you'll get a weekly Creative Uprising podcast. What that means is, a couple of years back, I took the time to interview people who I considered to be really top performers in their field, who were living the Creative Uprising. That is, they were making a living and making a difference doing something they love. And so I'll be sharing with you the best Creative Uprising podcast, particularly based on what comes up as we go through the sessions. If I'm like, wow, this one's really going to help, I'll make sure that gets shared with you. Okay. And finally, you will get 3 secret bonuses. Now, these are things that I think are going to be super valuable to you, but I always like to leave a bit of mystery. It's great to have a bit of fun, to be playful. So you're going to get 3 secret bonuses. So there we are. 30 sessions of 30 minutes plus your lock-in time, delivered through the Creative Uprising members area, 24-hour email and WhatsApp support. I think that's pretty cool. All the sessions will be recorded. You will get a summary beforehand, so you can have all your questions answered live, even if you can't make it. The interactive 40-page playbook, so you've got a living document going forward. A weekly Creative Uprising podcast, and the 3 secret bonuses. How does that sound? I hope you're nodding going, that sounds pretty cool, George. So obviously the question is, how much is it going to cost? Well, by way of answering that, you may recall that in the previous video, if you've had a chance to watch it, I promised you a transformational experience around the story of money. And I truly intend to follow through with that as we've come to the end of this video. Now, I'm standing here before you, about to talk you through the offer that is on the table. And truly I'm celebrating. And the reason I'm celebrating is because to get to this point where I can stand here and speak openly, passionately, and from a heartfelt place about the value I'm offering and about what your investment is going to be. Jesus, it's been a journey. Some real struggle. In fact, I even did a death ritual to bring myself to the point where I can stand before you now and speak authentically about how much value I'm going to add to you and what I expect from you in return. And the great thing is that because of the ridiculous struggle I've been through to get there, I know how to take you there as well. I know how to be that model for you and to make sure that you don't have to do some, dig your own grave ritual, so that you can get to a point where you can speak about how much you're worth and be rewarded in that way. Now, I've done a lot of research around economics. Because fundamentally, as we said in the last video, the new story for the human species, for our planet, cannot happen without a new story around our relationship with money. So it's been a real kind of area of interest and fascination for me. And there are a lot of models where people try and, they say pay what you can afford or pay what you can. There's ones where they say, just make a donation. And a lot of times, actually, it's proven that we're not quite ready for that yet. Particularly when people have got no idea, got no kind of signpost or guidance. And this concept was really brought home to me when I ran a pancake restaurant. And you may be thinking, what? What's pancakes got to do with this? Well, I put together an amazing menu of, create your own pancakes. Here's all the fillings, here's all the jams, the spreads, here's all the fruit. And then on the other side of the menu, I thought, well, I'll put a few options of, things that people could choose that I've put together as like a pre-made pancake. I expected everyone to go for the make your own. You know what happened? In the 6 to 8 months that I ran the Pancake Cafe, I can count probably on one hand the number of people who created their own versus chose from the menu of pre-made pancakes. And what that really showed is that we are at a stage still where we need some guidance. So I'm going to let you know how much the Creative Ignition journey is worth in my terms. Now, I believe that from a value perspective, I will be giving you easily in excess of £1,000 of value. No questions asked. When we come to package the course fully and share it wider with the world, it's going to be priced at £148. And of course, they're not going to be getting the live interaction with me. So I believe that really adds an extra element of value to it as well. Here is the investment I'm going to ask from you. I'm going to ask you to pay what you can afford plus £1. Why that extra pound? Well, listen, I'm going to ask you to pay what you can afford because I don't want money to be an issue. I'm going to ask you to pay the extra pound because I do want you to be invested in what we are doing. Does that make sense? And more than anything else, from an energetic perspective, I know that the power of what we've already created together, some of the things that people have been sharing, is because we have created a very strong energy around this movement. And by you putting in that extra pound, there is an energetic exchange. I hope you can tell I am fully committed to giving you everything that I have for the next 30 days so that we can really help you build those assets and develop the fullness of your garden. But I want you to be invested as well. That is why I'm saying pay what you can afford, so money is no issue, but pay that extra pound so you are invested, so that we have an equal energetic exchange. Does that make sense? And here's the really special thing about how this is going to work. I am not going to know how much you have paid. I'm only going to know the total that everyone has paid. So you might be standing there going, oh, fantastic, I'm going to pay £500 or $500 if you're an Australian or American friend of mine. Because you can clearly see that the value you're going to get is going to be well in excess of that. You may be someone who currently isn't working and, well, perhaps 20 or 30 quid, that's what you can afford at the moment, maybe even less. But you're going to pay that plus £1. And I'm not going to know how much anyone has paid. I'm only going to know the total. And that feels so amazing. That feels like, I'm going to be able to approach things from a totally equal playing field and just give amazing value to you guys. So here's how the process works. Simply click the link below this video and enter how much you want to pay, plus £1, of course. And it'll take you through to the thank you page, where obviously it'll say thank you, and you'll get 2 of the 3 secret bonuses that are waiting for you there. Okay? That's how it works. So don't click it yet. I haven't quite finished. But when you're ready, go ahead, click the link. The boarding for this journey, the Creative Ignition journey, closes at 8 p.m. tomorrow. So 8 p.m. on Friday. The workbooks, the 40-page workbooks are going to get sent out to you at 8:15. So you're going to have them ready to go. So don't delay. Get on board. Come up the gangplank. Pay what you can afford, plus that £1. Be invested. And I am so thrilled to welcome you on board, because I know that there are going to be some incredible transformations waiting for you as we go through the journey. And I want to finish this video with a very special reminder that the journey we are embarking on together, this isn't a customer-client thing. That's what's so special about the journey we're taking. I regard you as a synergy partner. And in the journey Creative Ignition, we are going to delve into that word synergy a lot more. I believe it's a fundamental part of the new story. And what a synergy partner means is that wherever we go on the journey, I believe we have connected for a reason. That's why I want you on board. That's why I've made it easy for you to be on board. Make it an easy decision, okay? Because I do not know where, ultimately 5, 10, 15 years down the line, where our journey will take us. But I know that I want you as a synergy partner, which may mean that we do business together. It may mean that we go on family holidays together. I want you to know that I'm open to all those possibilities. And I believe that that is what sets apart the journey we are going on from anything else that is out there. So, synergy partner, brother, sister of humanity, thank you so much for taking the time to enjoy these videos. I hope you've enjoyed them. Please click the link below, pay what you can afford, plus £1, and I cannot wait to get started tomorrow on the Creative Ignition journey. I'll see you there.